What does a nature center, a cancer-centered nonprofit, and a community flower garden have in common? This week, they are all part of a growing movement to make kindness visible and contagious. Expert Connections starts now. What if one small act could spark a chain reaction of kindness? Welcome to Expert Connections. I'm Julie Holton Smith. Today kicks off a week-long initiative of spreading kindness. It's a mission to turn intention into action to see just how far kindness can go. I'm joined by Bob Hoffman, founder of ePIFanyNow, a nonprofit that has been passing kindness forward for more than a decade. Hi, Bobby.
Hey, hello, good morning.
I am so excited. Week of Kindness is here. Last year, Epiphany Now hosted a day of kindness, and it sparked such an incredible outpouring of support that this year, starting today, it's going to last an entire week. Tell us what to expect with Week of Kindness.
Yeah, we started well, first of all, I want to say thank you for having me on because it's great to see you and great to be part of your show. Secondly, the Week of Kindness was spurred from last year. We had an amazing event. We've been doing this actually since 2009. So Epiphany Now has been around for a long time. We started out by gathering large groups of people together, going out into the community, spreading random acts of kindness, coming back and sharing their stories. That went over great. And then COVID happened, and so we shut down for 4 years, unfortunately. But last year we did it again, and last year we adopted 5 nonprofits. And so we modeled that again this year. We adopted 5 nonprofits. Thanks to our sponsors, we were able to give them each $500, and we're raising more money for them online so people can donate online for one that hits them and makes them want to give a little more, or maybe they want to give to each one of them. We have a QR code for that. But we give them $500, and every day of the week, we ask them we highlight them. We've partnered with Fox 47. And so on Monday, June 2nd, the Village Flower Farm and Community Center is getting a bunch of volunteers together. They're in North Lansing. And this is a garden that is in the home of a resident that I met. It's an incredibly beautiful garden. And she gets neighborhood kids to come help her in the garden. And she's taught them gardening skills and what it means to grow something. And it's just taken off. So we wanted to help them. They're a nonprofit. She also teaches them leadership skills. It's an incredible organization. We've given them $500. So they can use that $500 with however they want for their nonprofit. On Tuesday, June 3rd, we have the Disability Network Capital Area. This is an incredible organization, and they are building on Tuesday with volunteers a ramp for a person who is in a wheelchair to get into their house and make it more accessible. So that's incredible. Then on Wednesday, June 4th, we have the Danny Bath Legacy Foundations. Danny Bath was a young man from Hazlitt who just got his brand new dream car, a Mustang. It was February. He was coming home. He wasn't speeding. He wasn't drinking. He hit black ice, hit a tree, and died. And his mom wanted to carry on his legacy because he was known for being a kind individual. They gave his former car away. He was driving a van. They gave that former car away to a family. And then every year since, they've given a car away. So we wanted to pay tribute to Danny Bath. And then on Thursday, we have an organization called Twigs to work in grateful service. They're going to be cleaning and maintaining a home of a local woman who has cancer, who really needs to focus on her disease and not anything else. And then on Friday, the final day of kindness, we're at Nottingham Nature Nook. We've got volunteers that is going to be doing updates at Nottingham Nature Nook. So it's an incredible week of passing kindness forward with an amazing event on Friday night at MSUFCU headquarters number 2 from 5 to 7. And we get together and we share and talk about everything that we did. We highlight those nonprofits. We have other nonprofits that are going to be there. It's just an incredible day.
And everyone's invited. So if you're watching here in the greater Lansing area, come out on Friday to join us for this celebration. And Bob, what I really love about this too, you talked about Epiphany Now, and initially back in 2009, you were focusing on random acts of kindness, just without any reason, without, as you were called to be kind, just those random acts. What's really, really unique about this week of kindness is there are still random acts happening throughout the week, along with some very intentional acts being performed at each of these five nonprofit locations and the support of the nonprofits. So, if someone is watching right now and really inspired to be a part of this week, what is one way that they can support Epiphany Now and this week of kindness?
Well, there's a couple of different ways. First of all, the one thing that you can do is just do something kind for somebody else. That could just mean smiling at somebody. That could just mean acknowledging somebody. Um, that's an incredible gift. So, first of all, do that. Secondly, if you'd like to attend our event on Friday, June 6th from 5 to 7 at MSUFCU headquarters number 2, please join us. It's free. We'll have food, we'll have drink, we'll have inspiration. And thirdly, if you feel so kind and you'd like to participate by helping these nonprofits, you can do so by giving. Any amount of money helps them. So these nonprofits are local and they're doing great things. And there's a QR code that you can click and you can go to the nonprofit that you want to help. And it's just as simple as that. So there are a couple of different things that you can do to make a difference.
Now, Bob, you also mentioned a little bit earlier an incredible partner in this initiative, and that's Fox 47. All week long, reporters from Fox 47 will be sharing the stories of these nonprofits and covering the story of these intentional acts of kindness being performed. What does it mean to have a community partner like Fox 47 involved in really taking the awareness of this initiative and spreading it beyond the volunteers involved?
Well, I can tell you that living in mid-Michigan and living in the Lansing area has been really special to me. There's something about this area. And I say people get it. People are kind. People realize that we all are in this thing called life together, and life isn't easy. But when we can support each other, it makes it a lot easier. And so I'd like to say a huge thank you to Fox 47, who is our media sponsor, who gets it. And they want to highlight the positive things that are happening in our community. And they also allow me to do that each week with my Good Neighbors series, where I highlight people that are doing great things, because the news doesn't have to be negative, and a lot of people complain about it. Fox 47 is putting their money where their mouth is and making news good again. They are promoting good news. And so thank you to them. Thank you to all our sponsors. One North, which is an amazing sponsor. One North has stepped forward and said, we will donate food to your event. That's huge because we all, well, first of all, I got to say, One North is an amazing restaurant locally. It's really good. So having them on board is incredible. Amadori Beverages, which is a local beverage company, Roland Troutman founded a couple of years ago. He's donating the drink, which is sodas, which is water. Um, just these partners are amazing. And of course, MSUFCU is our largest supporter, and they do such good work in the community. And then, of course, Julie, your company, M Connections, which is helping us as well. We couldn't do it without the sponsors, but you know what? Every single year I've done this since 2009, companies have stepped forward and said, we want to help you. We want to do this. So people understand the value of kindness. There is something that's great about it. And when you come to the event on Friday, June 6th, I guarantee you will be inspired and you will pass that inspiration on. It is a ripple effect. Bring your kids too, because they get it as well.
Yeah, Bob, so many ways to participate. And I'm glad you mentioned those corporate sponsors because it is never too late to get involved. We'll include the link right here so that those who would like to support the events happening this year, there is still time to have your donation count, or as you said earlier, those random acts of kindness that go so far without needing any money put behind them. Now, one of the things that will be happening at the event on Friday, Bob, is a special spotlight will be shined not just on those five nonprofits that we'll be highlighting all week long, but on a special person in our community who has been passing it forward in extraordinary ways. And this comes with the Chris Rosati Hero Award. I know you can't give away who's going to win this award. We'll have to wait for the event on Friday. But tell us about the award itself and why it's so significant to you to honor someone each year.
I never met Chris Rosati. He lived in Durham, North Carolina, but Chris Rosati felt like I did. And he felt that kindness is important. And unfortunately, he had ALS. And in his final days, he organized several community events helping children and showing them the power of kindness. And when he passed away, they told his story on CBS National News. And I was so taken back by it that I said, I need to meet his wife and children, and I want to help them have his legacy live on. And so I was just sort of inspired to create the Chris Rosati Hero Award um, because he tried to make the world a better place. And as his daughter said, Logan, that's really hard to do, but he did it. And so I wanted to honor him. And so we've been having the Chris Rosati Hero Award. I think this will be our fifth one that we're giving away, or sixth one that we're giving away. And so it's really special to me to honor him and to honor an individual that got it and honor other individuals who get it. Last year was Mark Howell with Gift of Life. And what an incredible organization.
Yes, yes. What a deserving awardee last year, and we'll link to Mark's page at Fund to Life, and also Bob, I will link to the Chris Rosati story that you have shared on your website because I tell you what, my friend, you are definitely keeping his legacy alive. He'd be smiling down on you to see what the greater Lansing area is doing, and I know we're not done yet. There are, even before this week wraps up, there are plans already in the works for what next year is going to look like. And of course, we're still, we got to get through this week, but also taking place on Friday at the event, there will be an opportunity for people to be a part of the process of selecting what happens next year. Tell us about this.
Yeah, we have several nonprofits that are going to be on hand with tables with information on what they do to help the community. And then we're asking everyone that comes in to vote for the nonprofit they would like to highlight next year on Epiphany Now. So we will take those votes and we're putting it all together now. We'll find five winners for next year. And that will give us an opportunity to really work with them throughout the year on picking a project that would be impactful that they could do. And then I think that's a really replicable model that we can do in years coming. My whole goal is there is a lot of nonprofits locally, Julie, that do incredible things. You might not even know about them all. My goal is to have that opportunity so people can learn about them and can know that, hey, there is amazing things happening in our community because people step up and say, I want to make a difference. And so what I think my job is to help other people realize that that's what we're surrounded with in this community. And Epiphany Now, the real mission of that is to create a revolution of transformational experiences through acts of kindness. And what better way to do that than get all those kind organizations together and create some synergy and power?
I love it. And it sounds like Friday evening is going to be a great culmination of all of the kindness, all of the events happening all week long, plus all of these additional nonprofits in the region that will be on hand to share their stories and to get a peek maybe at who will be a part of next year's initiative. So I see that this is going to be an incredible time with food from One North and beverages from Amadori Beverages. Of course, MSUFCU sponsoring at their headquarters 2 location, and of course, funding a lot of what's happening this week. We couldn't do this without MSUFCU. Fox 47 sharing these stories. They are incredible partners. And I have to agree, Bob, after spending, more than a decade working in TV news, to see a TV station that is so committed to our community, giving so much airtime to these powerful stories of kindness. This is just really an exciting thing that's happening. And I know lots of ideas for growth and new partnerships coming ahead. So I encourage people to reach out directly to you, Bobby, if they have ideas, if they want to share stories, if they want to get involved. Not too late. And again, here's the link to donate, to RSVP to the party, or just show up. We'll be happy to see you on Friday. Bob Hoffman, founder of Epiphany Now, thanks so much for taking time to be on the show today.
Thank you so much, Julie.
All right, that is all for this episode of Expert Connections. Check out all of the links below to hear more from Bobby, more from each of these 5 nonprofits, and to learn about Epiphany Now and how you can pass kindness forward. I'm Julie Holton Smith. We'll see you over in the next video.